Hello everyone, my name is Zoofluencer and welcome back to a new episode of Monkey Island. If this is the first episode you will see of this series, make sure you check out the other ones as well. This is the 9th episode of Monkey Island. We are almost reaching a limit of the monkeys that are in the game right now. I hope they will announce a new DLC with some monkeys very soon. But if you didn't see the previous episodes of Monkey Island, make sure you check those out after this one. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Of course, I did. Ate way too much and will be on a diet for the next couple of weeks. But hey, I had a good time. So this new habitat. I actually started this one without any clue what I was going to build. I didn't really have any idea. Normally I would do some research on any kind of buildings or existing zoos, but this time I just wanted to start off with absolutely no clue what I was going to build. Just surprise myself what will be the final result, and I could say yes, I'm really happy with how this habitat turned out. This video is a bit longer because I was building something, then I would delete it again, so I tried to edit the video as much as possible to not bother you with some footage of me building stuff that I won't actually use in the end. But yeah, it turned out really great. I wanted to start off with a waterfall. I really like those. It really fits into this zoo, and I just like building them, and I can see that I'm getting better at building these kind of waterfalls. This one is a bit bigger than the ones we already had. I also had one in my franchise zoo, which maybe some of you guys already seen the first introduction video of. I'm not sure if I actually showed that waterfall because I recorded that 2 or 3 times because I didn't really know yet what I wanted to do with that series. So I'm not sure if in the final episode the waterfall was there, but anyway, I did have one over there. The ones in the bonobo habitat was a little bit smaller, and the one in the gorilla habitat was also was like more a medium sized one if you compare it to this one. This one actually has 3 levels for the waterfall. I tried to add in a 4th one, which looked not cool at all, so I deleted that as well. In this episode you will see a lot of rock and nature work. Again, this zoo, I wanted to make it look as natural as possible, and if you've seen all the other episodes of Monkey Island, you will see that I use absolutely no barriers, only on the side of the gates to make sure that the staff can enter the habitat. But I just don't like using the barriers that are in the game. I want this zoo to look as natural as possible, so that the monkeys are supposed to be there, and it's starting to work. I do see a lot of great zoos on YouTube and other builders that do use these fences, but it just does not fit into this zoo. If you are building more a classical zoo or more like a city zoo, then it works. But in this one, this doesn't really look like a zoo at all. I've never seen a zoo like this. It would be great if they build it, but it just doesn't fit in here. So the waterfall, all 3 of them are coming from the top of the hill. I'm going to make a staff support hospital, monkey hospital, something like that. I had a few good ideas from subscribers in the comments. If you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments, so I will always read it. I will always reply on you guys, and I always try to use any feedback that you give me. And also I would love to have some great ideas for this zoo. I will always mention you if I use one of your ideas. But someone mentioned a monkey hospital, so I'm going to try to make 2 separate buildings, so more like a support building where all the staff buildings will be, and the other one will be a quarantine and I'm not sure what the name is, but the place where all the vets treat the animals. So that will be one building, and the other one will be more the food preparation and stuff like that. I will try to make it look as realistic as possible, and then you can actually see the difference in the two buildings. So right now I'm starting off with some extra climbing space. These monkeys really need a lot of climbing space, and I try to make it a little bit different from what I did before. Normally I would just raise up these platforms and put these logs underneath, but this time I just basically threw them on the rocks to make it look more natural, like something collapsed, or maybe it has been there for a very long time. And I also wanted to include a shelter for the animals where they can sleep. I do believe that this game, the animals need too much shelter space. I can easily fit up to 20 monkeys in the cave that I just made, but the game still thinks that I only have like 20% of the animals can fit in there, which is basically 1 or 2 monkeys. But I don't really believe that, so I hope that they fix that in the future. But I still wanted to include it. I want these habitats to be usable in a franchise mode, for example, because this is sandbox. It doesn't really matter if of course it matters if the animals are unhappy, but in this case it doesn't matter if they have enough shelter, yes or no. They will still use it. I won't lose any money, and my zoo won't go bankrupt, as I've seen people being struggling with the franchise series. I hope for them that they will watch my new series so I can help them out. I already did experiment with that, and I can easily get like $400,000 or $500,000 within 2 hours in a franchise, so it's not that difficult. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to make sure that your zoo doesn't go bankrupt and you don't end up like some of the YouTubers I have seen lately struggling with these franchise series. Right now I'm placing of course more and more climbing stuff, and I'm trying to make the plants look natural. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you've not. There's like a tutorial of Paul's Lee, and where he tells you how to make it look natural. I'm trying to use those tips in this episode. I've been trying to use it in several habitats actually, but if you didn't see it yet, make sure you check that one out. It really helps. It really helps. So right now I just deleted the bridge. I started with the idea of a bridge ride on top of the habitat or over the habitat, because I wanted the guests to have a proper view. I didn't really focus on the guests yet on this zoo, so I wanted to create a really cool experience for the guests, but I think the bridge wasn't cool enough, so I ended up with a glass tunnel going right through the habitat, because the people are not allowed to go into this habitat with the mandrills. I think the mandrills won't really like the people in there, so they have to be safe from the animals so the animals can't attack them. And you will see me placing all these rocks on top of it. In the beginning it doesn't really look like it's supposed to be there, but I end up placing all the rocks, placing all the plants. Right now I'm creating even more shelter space, which I didn't even realize. But I try to blend in this tunnel with a lot of rocks, with a lot of plants. The animals can actually use it. In the video you won't see it, but before I upload it to the Steam Workshop, I must admit the staff works cannot reach the other side of the habitat yet, so they can only clean and place some stuff in one side of the habitat. Right now I actually forgot to place a gate for the workers, so for the staff, but you will see me adding that later in this video. And so yeah, the actual animals can actually get some food from the keepers, which would be nice for them, otherwise they would starve to death, and we don't want that. We will get protesters, and that does not look good. So I'm blending in the tunnel a bit more with some logs. These logs always look perfect in my zoo. And even more climbing stuff, because these animals just want to run around and play. You will see me doing a lot of terrain work in this video. Somehow I'm struggling with that. With the use of the terrain work. I don't know why, but it keeps bothering me that sometimes it's on sample, sometimes it's on auto paint, and somehow it's always doing the stuff that I don't want. So I'm redoing that 2 or 3 times, but in the end it looks perfect. I also like to do the terrain work while I'm building, because then I know where to place rocks somehow. Especially you did see me do that with the waterfall. Before it was like dirt, and then I switched it back to grass because you get more contrast, and then you can see what you're doing with the rocks, because when the terrain is already set to rock, you won't be able to see what you're doing with these rocks. And it's easy to blend everything in with the terrain work. So I would say just start off with make everything grass so you can see what you're doing, and then place the rocks, and then blend in everything nicely with the terrain work. A few more logs to blend in the tunnel, and then you can already see the entrance of the tunnel, which will be more like a cave, mine-ish look. But I will start on that one later. I wanted the monkeys to be able to climb on top of it and make sure that they can reach the other side of the habitat. So there are like 2 or 3 points where they can cross the tunnel, and the people can see the animals up close. A lot of terrain work, a lot of nature, a lot of rocks. This habitat is really, really full of stuff that they can climb, and it looks so natural, it looks so cool. I'm really happy with how this one ended up. And this one was another idea that I had. I wanted the animals, just for the screenshots basically, to be, and for, of course, for the guests, it looks cool that the animals are actually in the lake, right in front of the waterfall that I created. It just makes a good picture for some gift cards in the gift shop of the park, which I didn't add yet. So this is a good idea. I will write it down right now that I have to create a gift shop where they can get some postcards from the mandrills in front of the waterfall. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is Borealis Zoo. I think some people are missing it. I only did like 2 episodes of it. I do have a really cool idea for the Arctic wolf habitat, but right now there are so many YouTubers that are creating a tundra zoo, so somehow it feels not right to do it right now. I want to do something different than all the other YouTubers are doing, and basically all the big ones, they started off with a polar bear habitat with a tundra zoo and stuff like that. So I'm not doing that right now. Probably in a week or 2 I will build the Arctic wolf. I will upload it again, and just to make sure that you guys are not overwhelmed with so much snow, because I did see too much snow in the last couple of weeks. So that's not good for my eyes, as I told you in my previous video of Borealis Zoo, that working on these tundra the biomes is not as relaxed as it is in this tropical region. You already saw me starting off with the cave, and that part looks really cool in the end, so I hope I will start on that one soon. No, I will first blend in the entire habitat. I didn't want to cut that out because it's really part of the habitat, so again, a lot of terrain work, trying to make it a little bit bigger, because I thought that everything was too close to all the rock work for the animals. Yeah, there is just a lot of terrain work going on, and right now I'm creating the path around the habitat and just connected the path to the tunnel. Again, I don't really like that it only looks like some terrain work and some terrain painting, so I always try to blend everything in nicely, make a few levels, so rocks and then some plants and stuff, which makes it look more natural, it just looks much better. People are asking, don't I ever get tired of placing rocks? No, I don't. I love that. It's so relaxing to make it look natural and just to place down all these rocks. You will see me, I do copy paste it sometimes, but I only do that once or twice, and then I start off with some new structures, then I copy paste that on again, so it's not looking repetitive, so you don't see the same structures all over again. Also, I did forget to put down the staff gate. I'm putting that in right now. It's just right next to the one of the tunnels, so right now the staff can actually enter the habitat, and I connect it to all the other staff gates. Some people may already know that, right in the center, I already told you in this episode, so right in the center are all the staff buildings, so everything is connected to that. I already made one episode of one small staff building because the chimpanzee was a bit off. It's not really realistic to connect that one to the center part of the zoo, because the people just had to walk way too far, and the animals were starving all the time, and I didn't want that. Didn't want that to happen. So right now, a new viewing platform, and somehow I really love the Arctic pieces that we have in the game right now. They really fit into the zoo, so I'm creating a new roof, which is a bit different from all the other ones, but still the look and the feels are the same as some of the other viewing platforms I did. I just wanted to add this viewing platform because I didn't want the only place that the guests could view the animals to be the tunnel. I also wanted a small viewing platform so they can see the entire habitat and have a great view on the waterfall. So from now you will see me placing a lot of rocks, a lot of plants. I completely blend in the habitat with the surroundings, and it ends up really nice. And around 24 minutes on this video you will see a cool reveal of the habitat with some cinematics, so make sure you check that one out. And if you like this episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now so you will see the next episode of Monkey Island. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next episode of Monkey Island, and probably it will be the next episode of my franchise series, which will be the very first start of my franchise series. So make sure you subscribe and you check that one out as well. Goodbye guys, and have fun.
silapha thina sizowakha. Thina ngisibona silapha sizowakha. Ngisibona silapha thina sizowakha.